The turbulence struck like a sudden drop in an elevator. Sharp, metallic, wrong. The aircraft shuddered, overhead bins rattling in uneven rhythm. A plastic cup skidded down the aisle, spilling a thin trail of orange juice that trembled with every vibration. Mara tightened her grip on the armrest. She had learned long ago that fear feeds on silence, and the cabin had gone eerily quiet. No calm reassurance from the cockpit, no routine update, just the dull hum of engines and the restless shifting of passengers trying not to look at one another. Then the seatbelt sign flickered on, not smoothly, but with a stutter, as if someone uncertain had flipped it. A flight attendant hurried past, her professional smile replaced by something fragile. She spoke urgently into the intercom handset, but no announcement followed. Another attendant appeared moments later, whispering something that drained the color from her colleague's face. When the cockpit door opened, every head turned. Two attendants stepped out. "No captain, no co-pilot. Is anyone on board with flight experience?" one asked, voice trembling despite her effort to sound composed. The question hung in the air like a flare. Mara felt something old stir in her chest, a memory of checklists, of simulated skies, of hands steady on controls she was never meant to master beyond training rooms. She had left that world behind. She had promised herself she would never return to it. But promises made on the ground feel different at 30,000 feet. Her hand rose slowly. "I can help," she said. Inside the cockpit, warning tones chimed in soft, insistent intervals. The captain was slumped sideways, breathing but unresponsive. Panels glowed with data, altitude holding, heading stable, systems waiting for input. Mara slid into the seat. The smell of electronics and recycled air felt strangely familiar. Her hands hovered, then settled onto the controls with careful certainty. She steadied the aircraft first, instinct before doubt. Her voice into the radio was calmer than she felt. "Mayday, mayday, civilian aircraft pilot incapacitated, requesting assistance." Static answered. Then a new voice, crisp and controlled. "Unidentified aircraft maintain heading. Support inbound." Minutes passed like stretched wire. Then two dark shapes pierced the clouds, fast, precise, unmistakable. Sleek fighters moved into formation beside the airliner, their presence both reassuring and deeply unsettling. The radio clicked again. "Aircraft in distress. Identify yourself, Ghost Sparrow." The name struck like a forgotten song played at full volume. No one here should know it. No one should still be using it. Her throat tightened. Her fingers hovered over the transmitter. But something deeper than fear, something trained, buried, waiting, answered for her. Ghost Sparrow responding. Silence followed. Then quietly, "Welcome back. Stay with us." Outside her window, the fighters adjusted position. Not merely escorts. Mara kept her eyes fixed on the horizon line glowing across the instrument panel. Fear was there, sharp and real, but it moved beneath something steadier now. Familiar patterns were resurfacing. Airspeed, attitude, trim. The language of flight hadn't left her. It had only been waiting. The radio crackled softly. "Ghost Sparrow, confirm control of aircraft." Her hand tightened around the yoke. "Control confirmed." The response came with a subtle shift in tone, less command, more trust. "We'll remain on your wing. You are clear to begin controlled descent." She glanced out the window. One of the fighters held position just beyond the engine, close enough that she could see the minute adjustments of its control surfaces. It moved with an almost human awareness, mirroring her corrections before she consciously made them. They remembered how she flew. Her throat tightened. So did the memories she had sealed away. Simulation chambers humming with artificial skies. Instructors who spoke to her as an equal. The mission that had gone wrong in a way no training scenario ever accounted for. She forced her attention back to the present. "Descending," she said, easing the throttle. The aircraft responded with a gentle change in pitch. Cloud layers approached like shifting walls of white. Inside the cabin, she could hear faint movement, restrained, tense, hopeful. Mara, the escort pilot said quietly over the secure channel. "Wind shear reported near runway approach. We'll guide your correction." He used her name without hesitation, not a call sign, not protocol, a connection. She adjusted trim, countered drift, followed the steady cadence of instructions that felt less like orders and more like a conversation resumed after years of silence. Altitude numbers ticked downward. The runway emerged through thinning cloud cover, long, dark, unwavering. Landing gear deployed with a heavy, reassuring thud. The aircraft vibrated, but it was a living vibration, controlled and responsive. "Speed good, alignment good," the voice said. "You've got this." The words unlocked something she hadn't realized she'd lost, trust in her own hands. Final approach compressed time into fragments. Crosswind correction, throttle reduction, nose angle, breath. The wheels met the runway hard but true. The aircraft surged forward, then slowed, engines winding down into a fading roar. For a moment, there was only silence. Then applause erupted behind the cockpit door, raw, relieved, overwhelming. Mara didn't move. Her hands remained on the controls, feeling the residual tremor of a machine that had trusted her completely. The radio clicked one last time. "Ghost Sparrow," the voice said, warm now, almost proud. "You brought them home." She watched the fighters peel upward into the bright expanse above, climbing fast until they became nothing more than flashes of reflected sunlight. As ground crews approached and the cockpit door opened, Mara finally exhaled. She had left that life be.